and welcome to episode 9 of my knitting podcast. My last 2 knitting podcasts actually had the same name. That looks so crazy. My thoughts on MCAL. I'm not sure if I'll do it again. This podcast is going to be for October 2024, and I'm going to share with you guys everything I did for this month. October was a low knitting month for me. Life had really taken over and I was just busy with so many other things that I just had no time to sit in front of the TV and knit. I also got a haircut, if you guys could tell. My hair was really long before and I feel like this is a much more manageable length, so very happy with that. Alright, let's talk about knitting. Usually my videos will follow the structure of FO, whips, yarn acquisition, and knitting plans, but because October had been such a busy month for me, I feel like I didn't do a lot of knitting and I feel like I didn't progress a lot in my knitting life. So this month's podcast for knitting plans, I'm actually going to share with you guys everything I want to knit from my Erica Tokai knitting books. I have 4 of her pattern books, and the first one here, actually these 3, how should I do this? There's so many. This one is for her bags, which are really cute because she does a bunch of animal pattern bags and I think they're so cute. And these 3 are her color works, and they just have a lot of different patterns that I'm obsessed with, and I want to go through these ones with you guys. This will be for the knitting plan section of the video, which is at the back, so definitely stay tuned for that. If you didn't notice, my last 2 knitting podcasts actually had the same name because my whips and FOs has been the same for like 2 months now, and now it's about to be like 3 months. But you know what, I'm just gonna take things slow. I'm gonna let things move naturally, and I don't want to force myself to knit if I'm really busy in my personal life. So if I don't knit a lot this month, I don't knit a lot this month. It's okay. All right, let's start with my first FO, and my first FO is what I'm wearing right now, which is my Puro cardigan. Normally I post my knitting vlog like after my podcast because I'm not that fast in editing knitting vlogs, but for some reason like this month I was like really good. So if you guys are interested in a more in-depth video on this cardigan, you can watch my knitting vlog that I posted 2 weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks ago when you're watching this, and I just talk a lot about how I feel about this cardigan, everything I went through, and stuff like that. So check it out after this video if you're interested. But for this video, I will just go through a very brief overview of how I feel about it. So first of all, I knitted this in a baby yarn. It is by Sandnes Garn. It's the one that I always use. It's like Babyull Lanett, and I use it for a lot of projects because I feel like it's really smooth. It feels really great. It's really good for like sensitive skin and it doesn't itch me. It's just like amazing. I love it. I always go for this yarn if there's a project I don't really know what to use and it kind of fits like that DK sport weight kind of category. I sometimes even use it for like fingering weight, and I just adjust the needle accordingly to meet gauge. I've knitted the camisole number 5 in this before. I knitted the Salty Day sweater in this. It is super wash. When you're knitting it, it's gonna look really tight, but then when you wash it, it grows, and then as it dries, it like shrinks back up, but you're still gonna be left with a piece that's a little bit larger than when you were knitting it. So that's something to keep in mind. And this pattern is great because it's the second time I'm knitting this. This is the DK version. I've also knitted the Irene version before. That one's a little bit bulkier and bigger, but this one I've knitted it to my actual body measurements. The other one I actually knitted oversized because I wanted more of an oversized sweater. This one is perfect for like going to work or if you want to be in more of a professional setting because it's so well fitted to my body, and I feel like the pattern is really simple and you can wear it anywhere. And because I go to work so often, like I need my clothes to work for both work and also just like my normal daily life, and I feel like this pattern really satisfies that, and I've worn it to work so many times. You can wear it over dress pants. I sometimes wear it unbuttoned over like a dress as an extra layer of warmth, and that works really well too, and it looks really great. So this one's just a very versatile piece, and it's something that you will always grab for because it's so simple and it's like a classic timeless piece. The structure of this pattern is the same as the Irene version, so there's no differences there. The only difference is the weight of the yarn and also the needle. Of course, that one I believe is knitted on maybe like 6mm, and this one's knitted on 4mm, so there is a difference there. That one will fly off your needles. Like the Irene weight one, you can literally knit in 2 weeks. This one will for sure take at least 3 weeks to a month, depending on like how much you knit. But for me, I'm not somebody who knits like crazy amounts. I mainly only knit on transit and like on weekends, so it takes me at least 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So those are the differences there. I actually have a knitting podcast for both cardigans, so definitely check those out if you're interested in the differences. But yeah, I talk about both of them in depth and the progress and everything that you should look out for and stuff like that. So definitely check out those videos if you're interested, and if you're deciding between like which one to knit, those videos might be helpful to you. I talked a little bit about the yarn, which is one of my favorite baby yarn. These buttons are buttons that I got from Fabricland, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, okay? They're too small. Because this is such a timeless, simple piece, I wanted buttons that would be kind of the same vibe and like also be very simple and timeless. So I just went with the same buttons I got for the Whip Cup pouch, and these work great. The only problem is I think they're too small. Like, as you can see, it just unbuttons on its own. My fault. Because, well, I don't know, I think the pattern tells you to buy buttons that are like 11 to 13 millimeters. So I went on the smaller end and I bought the 11 millimeter buttons, but these are way too small for the buttonholes that I've knitted. So if you guys are knitting this, I would actually suggest you to buy buttons that are like 13 to 15 millimeters. And if you have larger buttons you want to use, you can always just adjust the buttonholes to be bigger to work for the larger buttons. But yeah, I should probably switch these buttons eventually. One thing about this yarn actually is that it does wrinkle very easily. I've never actually knit stock knit before other than the other Puro cardigan, but because the other one is like a thicker weight, I used Noro Madara for that one. That yarn doesn't really wrinkle, but this one will wrinkle. And I think it has to do with the weight of the yarn and the fabric it creates, but this one wrinkles very easily, so that is something to keep in mind. If you don't like clothes that wrinkle very easily, yeah, you might want to think about that a little bit. But for me, like, this is okay. I would probably just put like a really light steam over it just to straighten it out, but this is something I noticed about this knit that I've never noticed about other knits before, so that's just something to take note of. And I knitted this in a size 2, which is the size I normally knit. The other Puro cardigan, the Irene version, I knitted in the size 3. That one I purposely did it larger because I just wanted a larger size. I kind of want to reknit this one again in like a larger size as well, just so I have the option of like a larger cardigan and a smaller cardigan in the DK weight. So that might be one of my projects in the future. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Another thing I want to mention is for this Puro cardigan, I actually blocked it differently. What I did was I put this into a tub with some wool wash and I let it sit for 20 minutes. And when I usually take it out, I'll like roll it out in a towel. But this time around, I took it out of the tub and I tried to squeeze out the water, and I put it into a laundry mesh bag and I put that into my washing machine. My machine specifically has the option for you to select just spin, so I just put on spin at the lowest setting and it would just like spin out the remaining water on it, and I felt like it worked really well for this particular cardigan. I will be trying this method again depending on the pattern, but I'm very happy to let you guys know that that method works. I think that's about it for this cardigan. If you have questions that I didn't answer or I left out, definitely leave it down below and I'll try my best to answer. Hope you guys enjoyed the Puro cardigan. Let's move on to whips. I have 2 whips. They're actually the same 2 whips I had last podcast, but I made progress, okay? We should celebrate that. The first whip is the Regolith hoodie. Last month, I think I showed you guys the back panel and part of the front panel. This month, we have both the back and the front joined, as you can see. This is joined using the 3 needle bind off method, which I have never done before. And it creates such a clean join and I love it. I love that I'm learning a new technique knitting this, and going forward I want to learn a new technique with everything I knit. I'm gonna start noting the stuff that I learned new. Like, this is really cool for me actually, because I love that I'm like learning and expanding on my knitting skills while doing all of this, and yeah, I'm just happy about it, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna start noting all the things that I'm learning new for each pattern, and for this one it's the 3 needle bind off. And the thing I learned new for this Puro cardigan was definitely putting it into the spin cycle in the washing machine and blocking it a different way. So yeah, learned something new here and here. So Now that both are done, it looks more like a hoodie, I guess. Oh god, I'm like sweating right now because I'm wearing a lot of knits. I also just look like I'm wearing a big baby bib. But yep, I have both the front and the back done, and I think it looks so cute. I love the look of this. I look like I'm wearing a cape. This is the front and back panel, and then I've also finished one of the sleeves. Guys, I'm like on a roll, okay? Like, I mean, not that much of a roll, just a little bit of a roll, because it's not done, but I am working on it. So this is one sleeve, and then later you just like sew it together, whip stitch it together. And I also have the second sleeve, which I am working on, and we are almost there, I guess. Like maybe a quarter or a third of the sleeve done. So this will be the other one, and once this is done, oh my god, what is going on right now? And once this is done, I just have to knit the hoodie or the hood and also the I-cord for the drawstring, and then I sew it all together and I'm done. So this is where I'm at now. I look so crazy. And now that the weather is finally cooling down, because like we had a really warm October to a point where it was like, it felt like 25 degrees on Halloween. Like, what the heck? I just haven't really been able to wear my knits, like my chunky knits, because it's just too hot. But this one, once it's done, I think it'll be like maybe mid-November or December, and I will be able to wear this out without sweating, and I'm just very excited for that. I'm very happy for myself to have timed it perfectly. Right now it's about like 8 degrees or 10 degrees, so it's not that cool, and like during the day when the sun's out, it's pretty warm. So I don't even think it's time for me to wear this yet. A couple more weeks maybe. So that's my second whip. And of course, with the yarn and everything, I have kind of talked about in my past 2 videos, so I will leave all the details down below for sure. Like, I always do that. And also, if you want more details and like a closer look at the yarn, I will leave my other knitting podcasts below, because I don't want to bore the people who have already watched it twice already, and I'm really sorry that I haven't casted on something new. I've just been trying to get through my current whips, but winter is coming and I know I'll have a lot more cast on and more fun projects in the next few months, so just stay tuned for that. But let me know if you've also knitted this before and what you guys think about it, because I would love to know. Alright, let's move on to my next whip. This whip is going to be very fast for us to get through. Oh my god, I just realized I didn't even finish the row. Oh, I know why I didn't finish the row now, because I ran out of yarn. This whip is something I had last month as well, and it's kind of funny because I signed up for the Amirisu mystery cal, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great, because I've never knitted a shawl, like a detailed intricate shawl before. I've knitted the Sophie shawl, but that one is like super easy to knit. Like, you can literally whip that up in a week. But for this one, I wanted to challenge myself and do the mystery cal, and I thought that it would be possible for me, but I underestimated the amount of knitting that it would require. This cal has been done for like 2 weeks now, and I'm still not done. I don't know how long this is gonna take me, but it will probably take me a while because I'm very slow at knitting lace, and I don't know, I feel like I'm just pretty slow in general. But this is what the shawl looks like now. I'm still on clue 3. Like, people knit so fast. How do people knit so fast? The clues come out like every week, and a lot of people finish clue 3 within a week, but for me, like, this section is just taking me so long to knit, and it doesn't help that I'm trying to knit like lace on a train, and I'm reading the pattern as I'm sitting on the train with like a billion other people around me. But you know what, it is what it is. Clue 3 is basically like the body of the shawl, and it's one side of the shawl, and I'm starting to see how it looks now. So this was what we started with, the circle. Then we did these little like water splashes, or like wings I call them, and then clue 3 was this section, this area of the shawl, and it looks like this. So there's definitely a lot of lace working here, and then the bottom is mainly stockinette and some of the pearls. I think it's like this that takes me really long. What I did interestingly here is I kind of paired a merino nylon. The main color is a merino nylon, which I got from Alaska, and then the contrasting color is like a cotton, which I feel like is a weird mix, but for some reason it kind of goes well for the shawl. I quite like it, and I feel like it makes the lace very pronounced. I've actually never knit lace before. Like, I've knit cables, but I've never knit lace. Knitting it with cotton yarn, I feel like made it a lot easier for me. It doesn't really feel too much. I mean, it does kind of feel like cotton, to be honest. It doesn't feel as nice as like if you were to knit with merino, but I still really like the results of this. Still working on clue 3. Eventually I will finish, I hope. It might actually be 2025 by the time I wear this, so yeah. My thoughts on MCal. I'm not sure if I'll do it again. I think it's really fun, but I always underestimate how much knitting there is, and I overestimate how much I can actually knit, and ideally I would want to kind of finish the clue before the next one comes out, but I guess things has just been really busy for me, and also like I just don't knit as fast as I think I do. So yeah, I feel like I have problems with keeping up with the clues for MCals, so I'm not sure if I would do another MCal. I don't know, I might change my mind in the future, but right now unsure if I would want to do another MCal. Let me know what your thoughts are on MCal. Like, I would love to hear that. Let me know. So there's that. That is clue 3. Hopefully by next month I'll be at least on clue 4 or 5. It's been a while, okay? Alright, so that's all for my whips and my FOs. Hope you guys enjoyed those. Now we're going to move on to my haul section of the video, which normally I talk about like patterns I purchased or yarns I purchased and needles, anything knitting related. I made one pattern purchase. I've been making pattern purchases because they are on sale. Like, I like to make use of the sale. I didn't make any yarn purchase this month because I just want to be more cautious of my spending, and I just don't want to buy too much yarn, especially because I have a lot of yarn, and I just want to be more mindful of all of that. So I haven't been buying yarn, and I've just been buying patterns, which is also a problem because like, am I actually gonna be able to knit all these patterns in time? I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from though, because like, do you guys also struggle buying yarn and pattern, or is it just me? I'm sure it's not just me. I'm not that special. Okay, yes, I bought 2 patterns and I'm very excited about it. The first one I bought is by Knit, and I've been eyeing this pattern for so long because it's a baby sweater, and oh my god, I'm freaking obsessed with like baby knits. And I think I talked about this in June when I was knitting like the baby bear bonnet, and I'm kind of back in that phase now because as the weather gets cooler I want to knit more sweaters for babies. So I bought this pattern when it was on sale. It is the Biskrem sweater mini. I have a lot of leftover yarn from just like knitting my baby old stuff, so I don't even need to buy yarn for baby sweaters because I can literally just use my scrap yarn. Like, baby knits are the best way to use up your scrap yarn, and I wish somebody told me about this. I guess it doesn't really matter because I have a bunch of scrap yarn anyway, so I'm telling you guys, if you have scrap yarn and you know a baby, you can knit baby sweaters with your scrap yarn. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna knit this probably once I finish at least one of my whips. I just want to do this before winter comes, and maybe I can give it as like a little Christmas present. The last time I knit something for this little baby was in June. No, I lied, July? Somewhere there, summertime. And I knit the baby bear bonnet. So the baby wasn't able to wear because it was too hot, obviously. And by now, which is also not cold enough because like we were just having so much warm weather, I think the baby will have to wear it in December. But the problem is the baby is growing like at lightning speed. It's huge now, and I already knitted it for a 6-month-old, and I don't even know if it will fit his head. The baby is approaching 6 months, but I think I need to knit this sweater in like a 2-year-old size. And I feel like babies now are growing bigger and stronger and healthier, so he might actually grow into the 2-year-old size like way faster than I even expect him to. We'll see, I don't know. Then the next one I purchased is the Hailey sweater by Irene, and I love Irene. I think her patterns are so pretty. So when she came out with the Hailey sweater and she had a discount, I was like, yes please, add to cart, purchase done. I actually have black yarn, and I never knit with black yarn before because I feel like I already have so much black in my closet from like normal clothing that it didn't make sense for me to knit something black. But I'm thinking black yarn might work for this one specifically. But yeah, this one is very pretty as well, and I definitely want to knit this in the near future. Those are the 2 patterns that I purchased, and that wraps up my haul section of this video. Let's move on to knitting plans, which I have now changed to my Erica Tokai chat because I have so many of her pattern books and I haven't knit anything from them before. Actually, one of my goals in 2025 is to knit patterns from my pattern books that I own, because I own so many of them but I haven't knit anything from them before. Maybe I'll share these pattern books in the end of my podcast if you guys like them. Let me know if you guys like them, if you want to see more, because I think that would be really nice for me to kind of refresh my memory on like all these pattern books I own, and I can also share them with you to let you guys know what they have. So if you're interested, you can also purchase them as well. Let me know if you're interested, or like if you want to see more, because I have like a billion pattern books and I really need to like start knitting something from them. Otherwise they're just coffee table books at this point with no purpose. All right, let's start with the Erica Tokai. Let's do the bag one first. I will give you guys a brief overview of everything this book has. Here's a very quick overview of all her patterns. Definitely pause if you want to look at anything for longer. Here she has one like with a fox. This one's a bunny, cute. A rabbit, I guess she calls it. She has one with a hedgehog. Oh my god, and a bird. Oh, the hedgehog, like, are you kidding me? So freaking cute. I've seen like hedgehog pouches before, which I think are adorable. Oh my god, penguins and a Shiba. If you guys own a Shiba, like, oh, okay, yeah, this is for me, because I can definitely make a Wilfred one, because I can just do the color work pattern myself and figure out when to knit what where. The spread is so cute. Like, you see so many of her patterns. I follow her on Instagram because I'm obsessed, obviously, and she does these knitting classes or like workshops in Japan where you can actually purchase like the kits and then knit it all together. I would love to join. Like, if she had that in Toronto, I would be there, okay? But I think it's a little bit daunting to get started, especially when I'm like, where do I buy the yarn? What yarn do I buy? What color do I buy? Like, all that kind of stuff, and I feel like that's a huge roadblock to me actually knitting one of her patterns. But if she had like that for sale easily and like in a more affordable way here, instead of me like shipping everything over, I feel like it would be much easier for me to get started. But I guess that's with everything. She even has like cat scarves. I'm gonna choose one pattern to knit from each of these books, okay? If I were to choose one pattern to knit from here, it would have to be the cat one. I am so boring because I'm like every cat owner where if I see a cat, I'm just gonna automatically choose the cat, and I'm sorry, I'm very predictable and I'm very boring. And I think the one I would choose is this one right here, and I would do Wilfred. Because this book gives you the grid that you need to follow, and I would literally just follow the grid and create Wilfred with the colors and then just follow that pattern instead of what she has here. With that being said, I feel like I didn't even need this book, but at this point I just like purchased her book because I'm such a big fan and I want her collection, so that's why I purchased it. But yes, I think I would do that one with Wilfred's face because I'm not original at all. I feel like every cat owner would do the same thing. All right, let's move on to this one, which is one of her color work patterns, and oh my god, obsessed. Okay, like, oh, she has so many cool patterns in here. I already know which one I'm knitting from this one. Like, it's been on my to knit list for so freaking long. And of course, pause if you want to see. Actually, this one I put in like these little tabs to note down all the ones I want to do. Of course, I noted down the cat one, but this is not my top one. It's just first on the book, but like it's not my #1 to knit. So let's move on, okay? Oh yes, here it is, the hedgehog pouch that I was talking about. She has this pattern, which I think is so freaking cute. I love the hedgehog pouch. I really want to knit that in the future. I actually put a little tab on this one too. Polar bear one is so cute, but I don't think I will knit the polar bear. It's not that I won't knit it, it's just it won't be like top of my list. Oh, and I wanted to note that like her cat one, the tail actually spans to like the back of the sweater, which I think is so cute. And the polar bear one too, like the back is also the back of the polar bear. Adorable. Okay, we're getting to the one that I really want to knit. Like this one, I think I will actually buy yarn for, and it is the penguin family cardigan. I have been obsessed with this pattern for so long. Like, I've been wanting to knit this for so long. That's for sure on my to knit list from this book. Oh, this cardigan is really cute as well. Like, look at this cardigan. I love it. I think I would really enjoy this cardigan as well, and it would look good with a lot of things that I have in my closet already, so definitely on my to knit list. So that's actually it for this book. So if you're interested in any patterns from this, definitely purchase this book. This one doesn't actually have an overview of all the patterns, so I'm just going to flip to the pages of the patterns that I really like. Again, I have like tabs put in. This is another one of those cat pouches. Again, I'm like an unoriginal cat owner, so anything cat related I will be very happy to participate in. So this one right here is like cat room shoes, and I think these are so freaking cute, but I don't think I will knit these, to be very honest with you. I think they're just really cool. But yeah, they're like cat shoes, room shoes. And of course this one also has like the cover page cake sweater, which is really cool as well, but I'm not sure if that's on the top of my to knit list, to be very honest with you. It's really cool, but I think this one can wait, or it might just never be done. So yeah. And oh, she has like a cat vest as well. If you guys are like cat people like me and you want more cat patterns, she definitely has like a cat vest, which really cute. She has a cat scarf, and not gonna lie, this looks really scary. Just the way she's holding the cat scarf, like, what the heck? Anyway, there's that. So if you guys are interested in any of those patterns, definitely take a look at this book. That's her second book, and now we're on the third book. This one's really funny because there's like some dog patterns. Oh, there is something very special in this book that I really like, but let me show you the summary page first. Of course, pause if you want to see it more in depth. Here's everything that's included in this book. I already know which one I want to make right off the bat. I have been eyeing this pattern for a while, and it's these building bags. These are really cute, and I feel like they're so unique. I really want one of these. This will probably be on my to knit list. Pretty high up, I would say. If you guys are dog lovers, she of course has one for the doggos. She has more cat sweaters, like she has this really cool Hawaiian one too, but I don't think this Hawaiian pattern is going to be on my to knit list, to be honest with you. It looks really cool though. I do want this bag. This one right here. I really want this bag. So cute. Obsessed. Love it. That's this book. So again, if you have any patterns you see in this book that you like, check it out and maybe you'd be interested in buying this. Alright, that's about it, I think. I don't have anything else to chat about. Oh, there is one thing I want to talk about now that I'm looking at the floor. I talked in one of my podcasts about wanting to fix the Haru vest because I felt like I didn't knit the tension right for my ribbing, and I wanted to extend the cable section and I wanted to make the ribbing a little bit smaller. I had to rip out the button band and also the ribbing in order to knit the cable a bit longer. I kind of want to spend more time and energy on like fixing knits I already have and making it more wearable instead of casting on more projects and knitting new things, because I want to make sure everything I knit is truly wearable and dear to me and something I want to use a lot. So I've been spending a little bit more time on kind of going back and fixing things, and this week I actually frogged the button band of my Haru sweater, so I do want to talk a little bit about that. But Wilfred is laying on it beside me right now. If you want to see what the floor situation is like right now, like this is how my area looks, okay? Sorry about my feet. Wilfred's right here. He's usually here. He's always beside me. Right, Wilfred? He was actually laying on the Haru sweater, but this is the Haru sweater right now. I ripped out the button band and I'm going to rip out the ribbing soon because, as you can see, I feel like the ribbing's way longer than the cable, and the cable is so beautiful. I want more of it and less ribbing. On top of that, the ribbing is like knitted on very loose tension, whereas like the cables are on tighter tension, and I feel like that really messed with the button band. So I'm definitely gonna frog the ribbing and make it tighter and shorter and extend the cable. I kind of got started on this So yeah, this is, I guess, one of my whips and one of my projects for the coming month. I will talk more about this in the coming weeks or maybe next podcast as I work on it. 2025 is just all about being more mindful and more aware of what I want to knit and fixing the pieces I've already done and just making sure I'm not stressed about knitting and like knitting being like actually an enjoyable hobby, because I think 2024 I just went crazy with knitting and I need to kind of slow down now and kind of reflect on what I'm doing and whether or not if it's truly something I want to spend my time on and money on and efforts on. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my knitting life. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I apologize that my whips and FOs have kind of been the same the past 3 months. But yeah, life has just been really busy for me, so hopefully I will have a new cast on for next month and I'll be able to share more with you guys. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed the Erica Tokai segment in this video, and of course let me know what you guys have been knitting because I would love to know. This is a conversation between both of us, okay? Like, I love sharing what I'm doing, but I would also love to hear what you guys are doing as well. So definitely let me know what you're knitting, what you've been up to, how your life is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And check out some of my other videos if you haven't already, or follow me on Instagram if you want more updates from me. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.